Good evening, everybody. Thank you, chairpersons, for those kind words, and thanks, Amox, for having me invited for this wonderful conference. The Chai Pe Charcha on today, the first topic is raised NT and it's case-based. So we'll be presenting the cases. Once we have a short foundation on raised NT, basically it's defined as the nuchal translucency more than 95th centile for the CRL at that period. So there's a nomogram on the net. You can go there, see the 5th centile, see the 95th centile. This is the normal range. Whereas the 99th centile, that is the 3.5 mm, is fixed for every CRL. Sebir et al. In the year 2003 had prepared a wonderful grouping of increased NT, and which showed clearly that as the NT increases, the percentage of having a good baby, a live and well baby, decreases, and the chances of having an abnormal baby increases with increased NT. So why is this so? Because an increased NT is not only associated with genetic abnormalities, but also with structural defects and skeletal dysplasias. So the first step when you have an increased NT, the charcha starts now. What do we do? First, see for the other genetic markers, the nasal bone, the ductus venosus, the tricuspid regurgitation. The next step is a complete detailed anatomical survey, and this is also provided by the ISUOC guidelines for 11 to 14 weeks. With this, you will be able to identify major structural defects which are important for that period. The step 2 will be to classify the increased NT. Whether this increased NT is between the 95th centile and the 99th centile only, or whether it is more than the 99th centile, that is 3.5 mm, or other genetic markers are associated with an increased NT which is at 95th centile, or additionally any structural markers. Depending on that, you will be counseling for a first trimester screening, SOS, counseling for direct invasive screening. So if you take the first scenario, this patient comes to you, NT between 95th to 99th centile, you can say it's at 3, 3.1, whatever the CRL. You do a FTS because the other markers are normal. She's screen negative. Recounsel, reassure, see the lady at 16 weeks, do an early anomaly scan, do a fetal echo, and see the baby again at 20 weeks for a detailed malformation scan. Direct testing for the second group, please advise CVS or amnio as per the weeks of gestation after counseling. So this is a case 1. She was a primary gravida, low risk mother with a CRL of 50 and the NT of 2.5. So this is what I meant. For every CRL there is a 95th centile, and this was more than the 95th centile for 50 millimeters. The nasal bone, as you can see in the image, was not image satisfactory. TR was present. The two soft markers, increased NT. She denied a direct test on the first hand, and she did a FTS, which was 1 in 99 for Downs. And CVS was done. She was proved to be trisomy 21. The second case, she comes to the clinic. Again, low risk, gravida 2, para 1, living 1. The NT was glaringly high, 4 mm. But here, the importance of structural abnormality. She had a lobar holoprosencephaly, severe hypertelorism, and bilateral CLCP. So now this opts for the invasive counseling again. She opted for a termination of pregnancy, and the POC showed trisomy 13. The third case, similarly glaring. This is a recent case, about 7 mm NT glaring at us. 32 years, low risk mother, had again a cardiac defect, a single umbilical artery. Went for termination, trisomy 18. So these were the common aneuploidies which are associated with raised NT, other genetic markers, as well as structural problems. Now I come to the increased NT. Here, go to the first step, see what the other markers. Ductus was showing a reversal of flow. Go to the structure. The heart was glaring as us with very small hypoplastic left heart and pleural effusion as well. She underwent a CVS, was found to be, she underwent TOP and found to have Turner syndrome. The structural element also plays a role when you have an IVF conception. Very scared mother comes to the clinic, IVF conception, first time after 8 years with multiple fibroids. So again, the penetration was also very restricted. She had a CRL of 45 mm with an NT of 2.4 mm. Other soft markers were normal. Second step, go to the structure. There was a mediastinal shift to the left. There was a very early onset congenital diaphragmatic hernia. So when you follow the checklist of assessing the baby from head to toe, you will find out that you will be able to diagnose more and more structural abnormalities associated with this prominent NTs, high NTs, even at 95th centile. She was counseled for a very early onset left CDH, was advised CVS. She underwent a chorionic villus sampling. It showed a normal fish and a karyotype. Now here, this was not in the era of microarray where we would want a microarray for this lady. It was a fish with karyotype at about in about 2011 or something. Rescanned at 16 weeks. The CGH was confirmed with prognostication as well, and it showed the lung to head ratio of 30%, which is not that great, keeping in mind the early onset. So they opted to not to continue the pregnancy. Now this was an interesting case. It only had a nuchal translucency of more than 95 centile. So what will you do? I mean, we saw the stepwise. You will assess the markers, you will assess the anatomy, and that was normal. NT was 3 mm for the CRL of 70 mm. She was counseled. Okay, we went by the first step. She went to the FTS. It was intermediate risk for Downs, which came as 1 in 400. Now, whenever nowadays the protocols for intermediate risk have changed, anyone who is between 1 in 250 to 1 in 1000 falls into the intermediate category, and all are counseled to undergo either a non-invasive prenatal testing if the anatomy is normal, NT is normal, or vis-a-vis direct invasive testing if your NT is showing a problem. So she underwent CVS, and the microarray, for a surprise, showed a gain on the chromosome 16. So that's the importance of counseling based on your raised NT. It has to dig out more. It has to tell you to see in the baby more and more. However, if you follow protocols, you may fall in the right line, right? FTS, intermediate risk, CVS. Why CVS? Why we didn't opt for NIPSS? Because the NT being 3 mm. We don't want any structural problem going in for a non-invasive prenatal testing, which gives only a few answers as far as the genetics is concerned. So now microarray has found its foundation or a gold standard in cases of raised NT. This was in the year 2015, where it stated that if NT is beyond 3.5 mm and the patient is going for an invasive testing, go ahead and do a microarray. You will be able to find more and more, like 15 to 20% more chromosomal aberration than from a single karyotyping. Caution, when you ask for microarray, please ask for the CGH, that is comparative genomic hybridization, and SNP, because only CGH will not give you information about triploides. If you want the number of sets high, you need to also ask for SNP, that is a combined thing. This case, multiple anomalies, increased nuchal, advised CGH with SNP, and it turned out to be triploidy. Now nowadays, many of us, when they undergo TOP, we go for a microarray rather than a normal culture because there's a risk of contamination. So if you don't ask SNP in your abortus samples, you may miss out on triploides. That's the fallout of this, or tetraploides. So you will only get the microarray is normal, but you missed out on triploidy, which was important. So the importance of SNP, I would like to say, is a good take-home message whenever you ask for microarrays. What do you do if you have an increased NT, normal microarray, or a normal KT? Again, if it's between 95th to 99 centile, target scan 20 weeks, fetal echo, reassure 93 to 95% normalcy of this fetus at birth. Now as the NT increases, beautiful studies have been occurring from 2005 onwards, where they have given different percentage of assurance. So the more assuring was the Bilardo study in 2007, which gave assurance of 95 to 97% if your NT was 3.5 to 4, and then it started decreasing the assurance as the NT started increasing. However, it was surprising to see that NT of 6.5 also had a 100% reassurance. Now these were those cases who did the NT, who did the CVS, were normal on microarray, did their follow-up anomaly scan, did their follow-up growth scans, and everything was normal. Still they had a normal baby. But the caution here is the case study is very, very small. So before counseling for NTs beyond 5.4, we have to tell them about the limited literature studies on reassurance. So again, what will be our management if we have such a case in our clinic? Extensive counseling, reassure the parents, and overall adverse outcome in most of the studies about 18%. So that needs to be on your paper, and grade your NTs, like it was 3.5 to 4.5, 4.5 to 5.5. Depending on that, your reassurance will also be there. Why? Because if you have a couple with an NT of 5, which we have 3 cases of 5.1, 5.2, and they were supposed to have a normal 16-week scan, normal microarray, normal 20 weeks. They were assured that the rate of neurodevelopmental outcome will be as par as any person in the normal population, any pregnant woman. And that was a beautiful study in 2012, which is very reassuring rather than the past studies. So to summarize, I would say ideally, all our cases of increased NT should go to microarray from routine conventional karyotype. A 20-week scan is a must with a fetal echo. Caution is needed when you counsel parents for increased NT more than 4.5 mm, especially more than 5.5, because we have insufficient data of long-term follow-up, and ultrasound cannot give you 100% normalcy, and anomalies may be evolving and so may be missed on the 20-week scan. So that is the charcha, I would say, for today on raised NT. Classify, prognosticate, counsel, and then things will go if we are on the checklist, and that helps in more the patient decision making also. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pooja. We can take quickly one question. Yes, because we have a time. Yes.
Hi.
Can you just pass on the mic to her quickly? Yes. So that other actually people also will get benefited with her question.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
So sometimes we have patients who come with anomaly scans between 18 and 19 weeks, and they have got a reported NT which is enlarged. So otherwise there are no other soft markers that are there. Once or twice we have got such reports. So what should we do in such cases?
What about, have they done the screening test with that enlarged NT?
No, they just come with an anomaly scan. They don't have a first trimester NT scan. They just come with a NT
report. Now you go and check the image. Because sometimes we have, what is enlarged NT? There is nothing, no terminology like an enlarged NT unless you give me the number for the CRL. So go back, see the patient's report.
Ma'am, but at 18 to 19 weeks...
Yeah, so I'm saying, go back and see the first trimester imaging. If the imaging is of a poor quality, low zoom, still it is mentioned, you can reassure on your anomaly scan finding. Again, check all the checklists for the soft markers on second trimester. If possible, she has not done any screening. If your anomaly scan is normal and the NT image was poor, do a quad test. If the NT image is good, please go ahead and counsel for an amniocentesis.
Thank
you very much, Pooja. And now the next speaker.
Thank you, Pooja. Such a wonderful talk.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.